Hey, welcome back. This is EC's EDC, and today we're having ourselves a look at the Dispatch Daypack. This is their Ballistic Nylon edition. So let's jump in and talk about it. This bag is made out of ballistic nylon. As you can tell, it's a 1680D material on the exterior. The zips here on this bag are super smooth. These are YKK number 10 reverse coil. There's no stickiness to them. All of the zippers are just buttery smooth, and it's just, you know, when you can use one hand and open and close your bag, it's a great feeling. So I really enjoy the zippers here in this bag. I've been using it for, I think I've had this going to and from work with me for about 2 weeks. So this is a pretty preliminary review at this point, or I guess it's not even a review, it's more of a walkthrough. We'll talk about the features and take a look at, you know, what I like, what I don't like about it so far. But in general, this is a great day pack, as the name suggests, and is probably a good option for going to work, daily carry, weekend mode, and you know, maybe even some light travel. But I'm not so sure this is going to be the best light travel bag compared to some other stuff you're going to find in the market. So with that, let's start exploring the bag. So as I mentioned, this is a 1680D ballistic nylon. It's really soft, almost like buttery, and the weave gives it a robust and very strong, durable feeling. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. Sometimes the heavier, thicker D nylon can just feel overly sort of, you know, in your face, really tough, and takes a while to break in. This is, you know, right out of the bag gonna be nice and supple. So I think that's a huge plus, and you know, I commend Dispatch for choosing some pretty cool materials. Here in the front, we see one zipper, which shows us this sneak peek at the front pocket. The zippers on the bag are all number 10 reverse coil from YKK. That includes the laptop compartment, that includes the zipper to the front, or the main compartment. And the one zipper on the inside is a reverse coil from YKK in the number 5 size. So the zipper pulls on the bag are Dispatch's little sort of rubbery plastic pulls on just a small piece of nylon cord. These are really easy to use. The pulls, they sit in your hand well, and they're quiet. So, you know, take them off, clip them. You know, the metal zipper pull is here, so there is a little jangle, but I didn't mind it. And opening this, you know, gives us way to the front pocket here. And inside the front pocket is an attached spring-loaded clasp here where I have my keys tethered to. This is the key clip from Black Ember, which I find handy to use on my bags. There is a series of elastic loop that you can attach or tuck things into, probably great for cables, some pens as well. And I've just got a hero clip secured here in case I ever need it. And then this is a little harder to see because the zipper track on the outside actually hides a small portion of this mesh pocket here. There's a zippered mesh pocket inside that I've got stashed in here just to show you, how difficult I think this is to get to. I've got my wallet, but I also have a small notebook. And these things fit in the pocket great, but getting these slightly larger objects in and out is hard. That pocket extends to this lower seam. So, you know, you're blocked about halfway through, making it hard to get stuff in and out. So I did find this I don't want to say useless, but it was hard to use and deterred me from using it unless something like this, you know, notebook is living in there that I don't really plan to getting to a lot. Now the wallet, yeah, it's tough to get stuff in and out. The wallet wouldn't go in there, but this is just an example of something you might want to put in there due to how hard it is to get in and out. So continuing to look inside, I've got some eyeglasses cases in here, but we do see this really nice sort of coyote, it's a lighter than coyote brown interior. Interior materials are a 410 nylon packcloth, which also has a DWR coating. Same with the 1680D on the front. So big fan of the little included clasp here to choose, you know, your own adventure with. No leash to speak of, so you can figure that out on your own if you want to go that route. Now on the bottom of the bag, we do see there are compression loops or compression, you know, straps down here with a set of tri-glides to allow you to put some larger items. This might be good for hanging a coat underneath, maybe a yoga mat. Tripod would be another good thing to stow down here, but the fact that they're here, they're out of the way and available if you want to use it, makes it a nice thoughtful add-on. So I haven't found myself using these for anything yet, but they are down there nonetheless. On the side of the bag, there is, you know, there's some stuff going on. So we have a D-loop here with a little bit of subtle dispatch branding. There is another D-loop here on the wing of where the strap attaches. We've got ourselves a water bottle pocket, and this water bottle pocket is gusseted, and the gusset is a stretch mesh. So this will expand to fit, I'd say, the majority of bottles. Not an Nalgene size 1 liter, but your average 20, maybe 25 ounce bottle is going to fit in here no problem. The side, as well as the material on the bottom, is this stretch mesh. So this is going to expand and give you way for some of those larger bottles, but then it does collapse on itself and tuck back in to stay out of the way, give you that nice sleek exterior profile. And here we have a plastic little G-hook to act as a compression strap. It is not removable on this side, so if you do untether it, it does just dangle. Again, great for taller items in this bottle pocket, great for, you know, a tripod, but also if you don't have the bag full, you can cinch it down. So nice thoughtful add-on. And let's see, anything else on this side? No, that's really it. The laptop compartment zipper here, they do include a secondary color zipper pull, maybe to make it easier to find that against the other black zipper pulls you'll find across the bag. So we see the same thing on this side, compression strap, bottle pocket, D-loop, everything is the same there. And then looking at the back panel and the back of the bag, I opted when I purchased this to include the padded handle, you know, strap holder, hilt, whatever you want to call it. I've actually kept it off the entire time. I just have it on here to show you that it, you know, you can opt to have this when you purchase the bag. The strap itself has no padding, but it is thicker feeling because there is this Hypalon material sewed on the underside, which is great in your hand when you're holding it. It feels secure, but I wouldn't want to hold it for a long time just due to it being a simple strap to carry the bag from. The straps are slightly ergonomic. You can see they sort of taper out towards the bottom of the back panel. They're sufficiently padded. I wouldn't say that they're overly padded or they're thin. They're probably right in the middle. And they do breathe pretty well. There's some mesh and foam inside the strap, so they carry well and it feels very comfortable. They also come with load lifters, which you can tighten and loosen depending on how much weight you have in the bag and how close you want that bag to be tucked up on your shoulders. And Dispatch has also included these little plastic keepers here, which allow you to keep all these extra straps secured and kind of managed, which is a nice touch because otherwise these could be flapping. And they also include this, right? So this little nylon bit here allows you to tuck the load lifter strap and just get it out of the way. So a little lower down, we see the sternum strap. We've got the magnetic sternum strap guy here. Not actually sure who they're using. Duraflex or Woojin, something of the like, but it's good. I'm not a huge fan of magnetic sternum straps. I did find that pretty much every time I took the bag off, when I went to put it back on, this was already connected, and then I'd have to go and disconnect it. It would be sometimes half on my shoulder, and I find it kind of frustrating. So these might come off, but they're very adjustable and they slide around nice and easy. But in general, I am glad the bag comes with a sternum strap because that's not always the case. Taking a look down at the lower end of the straps, these adjust super easy. The Tri-Glide was very easy to dial in the bag with. And it is worth noting that the strap at the wing is connected by a plastic gatekeeper. So this isn't permanent. You can undo this and this comes off, allowing the bottom end of the strap only to be removed. I haven't figured out what the purpose of that is. If the top of the strap was also removable, then that would make sense. You could take the straps on and off, but the top is secured. They're sewn in, so not so sure. Let me know what you think. But I couldn't figure out why they decided to opt for this instead of just sewing that right here on the wing. And on the side of each of these wings, again, we have that small D-hook. So this could be used for perhaps a hip belt, maybe stowing some gear to the side of the bag. You do have 2 D-loops and the compression strap, so I think you could get pretty creative. Lastly, on the back panel, we have, the panel itself, the back side of the bag here. There's foam in here, no real raised channels. The back panel isn't gonna breathe super well. It's gonna give you some decent airflow just because there is foam and there's mesh, but I wouldn't call this, a great breathable, backpack. You're probably gonna get pretty hot with this if you're wearing this in the summer months or if you live in a warm climate. But we do have another removable strap. So straps are kind of the big thing on this bag, a lot of strappiness. And this is also removable as a luggage pass-through via more plastic gatekeepers. I didn't remove this when I wore it and when I've been wearing it. I kept it on. I don't feel this at all. I thought I might feel it on my back, but you don't, which is good because I was worried about the plastic bits here sort of rubbing or irritating or maybe even just being noticeable enough to start to bother you. Wasn't the case with me, but your mileage may vary and at least it's removable. So that is the exterior of the bag. I have noticed there have been, if you can see this, there have been some loose threads. I've been clipping some. There was a couple small ones I had to burn off on the front just to cinch them down. Not too many, but I was a little surprised, to be honest. Now, before we open up the bag, this is my loadout. So we'll talk about what your loadout could be and maybe how it might differ, but this bag does not really stand on its own too well. And that's because there is not a ton of padding on the bottom. There's not a ton of structure in the sides, so you'll see that the nylon will just be malleable enough to form around whatever's on the inside. If you have some larger items for support, it does stand pretty well. And even right now, it's got a bit of a backwards lean and it balances, but well, maybe not. But in general, doesn't stand super well on its own. Something to consider if that's important to you. So first up, let's take a look at the laptop compartment. So this front zipper here, YKK number 10, buttery smooth. We do have the frame sheet accessible here with some hook and loop. It is removable, but I don't think you need to. It's a plastic frame sheet, not a foam frame sheet. Doesn't dig into my back. In fact, the backpack is pretty comfortable, and I think the support is welcomed. But this is my 14-inch MacBook Air, and this is a 16-inch MacBook Pro, just in case you're dealing with a bigger machine. This is pushing the limits in width, and you've got probably maybe a little bit more than 2 inches of height remaining. So use that information as needed for your own machine. One more thing I didn't mention. So this strap, a lot of bags have their strap right here, right in the center. I found myself using my muscle memory and reaching for something that didn't exist here. Eventually I figured it out. I've got it dialed now. I also worried about this being so back facing in that it droops. But the way the backpack rides, you don't feel this against your neck or your back, though you might if you have this heavier padded strap addition, which may sort of have that resting on the lower end of your neck. So keep that in mind. And let's take a look. So one thing to mention here, as I open the bag, the zipper line does come down to the top of the bottle holder, but the compression straps are higher. So you will find that sometimes you want it to open a little bit more. You have to move the zipper underneath to get that last inch or so. But also, once it's under here, to zip it up, you have to fish it under. So I found that to be maybe a nuisance, not a deal breaker. Take out some of my stuff so we can see inside this space a little bit better. So we have this 410D. I'm not going to call it high vis, but it's definitely a nice change of pace from some of those neon colors, giving you, I think sufficient visibility inside the bag and nice contrast. The brown definitely shows you what you need to see on the inside of the bag. Down below where the bottle pockets are, it's a half zip bag, so down below there are two sort of stretch pockets. These are really useful. I've found that I utilize them pretty much always when I'm carrying this bag in a couple different ways. The Evergood's half cap is a perfect fit, and the little pull tab makes it super easy to take in and out of the bag. But I also keep my water bottle. This Zoji Rushi bottle kind of sits in there. That's where it lives for the most part. In a little bit, I'll show you why I keep it inside the bag and not outside the bag. And I think that's due to what I carry and also how I like the bag to look. But lastly, I have my topo pouches, or pouch in this case, and I usually just have this right here in case I need it. It's got some small effects that I'm able to keep out of the way. but within hand's reach. So that's, you know, what you're looking at down in the main cavity. The rest of the main space here is comprised of two separate sleeves. So this first sleeve where I have my iPad is just a really basic sleeve. There's no padding here. It just gives you separation for dividing up your stuff. I keep my iPad there because this comes in and out of my bag pretty often, especially when in transit, you know, working or using it on the train or the bus or whatever. Dispatch does give you a more padded sleeve here, but it is behind this magnetic clasp. And because I'm kind of going in and out, I just prefer to have the iPad a little bit more easily accessible. So because I don't have to go behind that magnetic dude here, this is just easier for me, so I keep it here, but maybe you want it behind this because this actually does have some foam padding and structure to it, as opposed to this being more simple and just some basic fabric. Now, earlier I mentioned the bag doesn't stand great on its own. I have, you know, smaller, lumpier items. They don't provide a ton of additional structure, but if you were to carry, you know, a larger pouch or maybe a camera cube, this is a Cap 2 from Evergoods. This is going to help you with your structure. As soon as that is in the bottom of the bag, well, it wants to tip forward right now, but let's put the rest of my stuff back inside. Real quick. So once that larger item's in the bottom, even without some dedicated external structure foam, you know, on this bottom area, you see it stands much better on its own. It's definitely still a little indecisive. It might topple over, but it stands way better than it did before. So keep that in mind. If you have larger cubes, this is gonna stand way better than if you have, you know, odd and ends in here. But I figured sharing that would be probably pretty helpful. So let me put my half cap back in there. Oh, the water bottle. So half cap, well, let's do Evergoods Cap 2 first. And then, you know, the half cap often goes in that little side pocket. So we can see what that looks like here. Now at this point, the water bottle is definitely not going to fit in that other side. So just be cognizant if you want to use those side pockets. If you have firm, larger objects, you're going to have to play a little bit of Tetris to get things to fit the way you want them to. And if you have larger stuff in here, you might resort to using the external water bottle pockets. And if you do, this is just a very quick demonstration. Yeah, I'm fighting the edge of the Cap 2 right now. There it goes. Okay, so that's seated inside the bottom of the bottle pocket. You can cinch it down with the compression strap. You can obviously use the bottle pocket with the compression strap under the bottle, but this gives you a little bit more security. The D-loops, or the D-hooks, which are right here, also provide one extra level of security with what you're using in this side pocket. You may elect to use like a carabiner or something to tether this to, you know, the lid of your bottle. So I think it's worth mentioning that these skinny bottles, or bottles similar to this, there's not a lot of tension on the bottle pocket. This is a loose fit, even with the stuff on the inside of the bag. And if your bag were to be, you know, if you were to, I don't want to do it because it's going to make a loud noise, but the bottle slides out. It doesn't have a real secure grip on it. So your water bottles will fit better. A lot of these newer bottles are tall and skinny, so it doesn't stay in all that well. You may want to consider using these D-loops to, you know, secure your items. So the last thing to mention here on the inside of the bag is you have one internal mesh pocket inside the panel. This is not stretch mesh, so this is going to just be a really standard pocket. And here I've just got a small pouch with some snacks that allows me easy access, even when the bag is closed. I could have this opened in a way that allows for, you know, it's definitely not quick access because you got to take the bag off, open one zipper, open a second zipper, but you could leave this open theoretically and, you know, have access to whatever you're storing in this top pocket, which I do find convenient. I think it would have been a big win if Dispatch elected to put in one more style pocket right here, even if it's a slip pocket, maybe some loose fabric, maybe a zip pocket like this one, but larger on the inside, just to give you one more way to segment and divide and organize your stuff. Just a suggestion, my opinion, doesn't really matter, but overall, some pretty decent organization in this bag. Now, I think this bag's suited for folks looking for a bag to take to work, your weekend bag, a daily bag for hauling stuff around, but a lot of people try to get function to the maximum, right? Buy one bag, have it do multiple uses at once, daily carry, also travel perhaps. So I've got a couple items here to show what it looks like if you were considering this bag for travel. So this is the medium packing cube by Peak Design, and it does fit. A little snug, but it does fit in pretty well. We'll loosen the compression straps. All right, so this is how much space you have left over after you've got a packing cube of this size in there. It is pretty big. I think it's 18 liters fully expanded and fully packed out, and somewhere around 10-ish if you've got it compressed. So I'd say it's probably close to, you know, 8 or 10 here. You could probably put some small, slim items. Maybe you got your tech pouch, jam in there. Probably fit my headphones in front. You know, it's tight. And then also, if you're traveling, you probably have a DOP kit of sorts. So, DOP kit on top. And you could get away with making some other changes, but this is what you're looking like in a travel scenario. One packing cube, headphones, you get some tech in here. Got my bulky eyeglasses case distorting the front there. So I think it would work fine. I think there's definitely better options if you're thinking, let me buy a bag for travel, but if you want a bag that might do both pretty well, this is a pretty good option. The only thing I would say you're gonna find better in dedicated travel bags, or maybe more closer on the travel side, is perhaps better pockets on the side for your bottle or other contents. And there's no quick access, nothing on the top. Having a quick access on the top is, in my opinion, a nice add-on. You do have your front pocket, probably fine for TSA to throw wallet, phone, earbuds, stuff like that. But having one more easy to reach place for your bag to store items is a good win. So there we go. The Dispatch Daypack. So this is your, I guess it's just a walkthrough, right? I've only had it for a couple weeks. I enjoy it. I think it's a great bag. Love the materials. Really like the design aesthetic on this bag. And the small touches, like this little red zipper pull on the laptop compartment, just so you grab the right one, right? Lots of stuff going on with this bag. D-loops everywhere, gatekeepers in a lot of places. You've got load lifters on a bag this size, compression straps on the side, compression straps on the bottom. Overall, you know, you've got a lot to love, and I like the coyote brown or light brown interior. It's a nice classy look. So this, you know, this is a great bag. It's fairly inexpensive. Yeah, I guess it depends on, you know, who you are, how much money you're looking to spend, but compared to bags in general, I think it falls somewhere in the median range, and I think you get a lot for what you're paying for in this form factor. So hopefully this information's beneficial for you, and you know, you can do something with some of the things you've seen and maybe some of the things I've talked about. But I appreciate you guys tuning in and coming to check out the DSPTCH Daypack 22-liter backpack. And until the next one, stay good, stay well, and